Hi, I'm Sean. I'm the founder of Search Umbrella, and I wanted to talk to you today about how I explain AI to CEOs of many different companies that I've talked with and also my children. Using AI is a lot like standing in the room of geniuses. These guys have guys and women have a vast amount of written data that they're trained on. Something like 80% of the world's written data has been absorbed by these large language models. And so it's amazing. Some are better trained on legal, some are better trained on medical, and some are amazing at programming, but they will always give you an answer. And why this matters is because they're not shy about giving answers. They will give you an answer whether it is right or not, and they don't quantify or qualify if they think that answer is wrong. So these geniuses are pretty proud in that they will not humble themselves and let you know when they're wrong. These geniuses also have been in a locked room since 2023 or 2024. That's when their training data has stopped and they have no access to outside data. I know that sounds really odd and it sounds really strange because you're often able to do a search and get updated information. But what's happening when that happens is they are given a web search or they're given something like a PDF or an Excel spreadsheet. And it's like someone going into this room of geniuses and handing them a book and saying, only answer based on what's available in this book and fill in with anything else. And oh, by the way, it's 2025, it's no longer 2023. And sometimes they get this right, often they do, but sometimes you'll get really weird responses. Like, for example, sometimes you can ask who the current president is, and they'll still give you a truthful answer, but it's from 2023 and not 2025. This matters because it can greatly affect the responses you get. And understanding that issue helps you in knowing how to interact with them. Another really odd thing with AI is these geniuses can't remember any interactions with you. I know that's hard to understand and it's hard to even believe because when you go on these platforms and you talk like, oh, there's my whole conversation, but that whole conversation is saved programmatically by the platform and not actually by the large language model. What that means is they have a running history of everything that you have done and interacted with that AI platform, and that's completely separate from the AI platform. So your conversation and the memory that they have might be over here, but the AI platform is over here. And the way it works is that every single time you talk with an AI or an LLM, the AI platform or a large language model, it sends your whole prior conversation to that model and it says, you've had a prior conversation with this person. Here's all the information. And this matters because you'll find that as you have a longer conversation, some of the responses that you're getting back from AI become poorer. And the reason that is because they can't keep a whole running length of that entire conversation. So your prior conversation gets summarized into like short paragraphs. Here are the 10, most important facts that the AI model is given, and then it's given the last one or two full turns of your conversation. What that means is your last one or two questions and the last one or two answers. That's a little bit hard to understand, but the reason it matters is because these long conversations progressively get worse with AI. And it's often better to start a whole new conversation uh, with the new topic because you'll start getting better answers as opposed to continuing really long conversations. Another way that working with AI I explain AI is like these geniuses are amazing, but they did a lot of illicit drugs in their youth, like LSD. And the way what I'm talking about is they can wax on eloquently and brilliantly about the most amazing topics, and then they start making up random stuff out of nowhere. It's called hallucinating, and even the best geniuses, these best models, are prone to it up to 30% of the time. I know that's really startling, but it's just super important to know because could you imagine? This is the reason why it's so important. Could you imagine going to a dentist And having a dentist hallucinate on what's going on with somebody's mouth or somebody's prognosis 30% of the times, it would be horrible. And yet businesses sometimes depend on AIs without verifying their output. This has resulted in sometimes very, very funny things, but it's also resulted in some tragic happenings. So I love the term trust but verify. And that's what we do at Search Umbrella. It's actually built into Search Umbrella. Not only do we trust the results, but we also verify that they're accurate. So here's just a few quick ways that how I explain AI to CEOs and geniuses and just CEOs and my children. And if you have any questions, please comment and let me know how you explain AI.